Welcome to another YouTube video. This YouTube video is going to be writing an animal acrostic poem. I love acrostic poems, and I thought because our theme this week is all about animals, I'm going to write an acrostic poem. So I've decided my animal is going to be one of my favourite animals, which is a penguin. So now, to write an acrostic poem, each line that I come up with has to begin with the letters that spell out penguin. Now I'm going to write penguin down the side. You'll notice I'm leaving quite a little bit of space between each one. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can write two lines for each idea if I need to. It's to give me a bit of space, because I don't quite know where my poem's going to go yet. There you go. So I've got penguin written down the side. I must confess, although I thought I knew how to spell penguin, I did double check it to make sure I got the correct spelling. Fortunately, I did. So I'm going to start with, I'm actually going to use the word penguins to begin with. Now, when you write an acrostic poem, they don't have to rhyme. You can put some rhyme in if you want to, but there's no rules here. The only rule for writing an acrostic poem is that it spells penguin or your animal. So I did an example on your home learning menu about a cat, and down the side it says cat. So it really doesn't matter what you put in your poem here, as long as each line begins with the letters of your animal. So I'm kind of completely free now to write however I want to. So I'm going to go for penguins are my favourite bird. Penguins are my favourite bird. Full stop. Even though they cannot fly, they are quite superb. They're quite superb. Oh, I've got a rhyme in there. I don't need to have a rhyme, but let's go for it. Even though they cannot fly, so they're a flightless bird. I'm putting a comma here because I started with a subordinating conjunction. There. Notice how I spelt this there. This is short for they are. They're quite superb. You can just see, oh, exclamation mark. You can just see why I left that little bit of space, because each line is beginning, but because I don't want to limit my poem, I'm giving myself space to complete each idea. Never lazy. Lazy. Always working. I'm going to use a comma to join this onto my next idea. Still going to go with my capital letter. Gazing at the ice. Gazing at the ice as they're waddling. Again, there's my short for they are. They're waddling. Penguins are my favourite bird. Even though they cannot fly, they're quite superb. Never lazy, always working, gazing at the ice as they're waddling. Underneath their... Oh, wrong there. This is there as a possession, so it means this was something that belongs to them here. So this is a different there. Underneath their feathers, they guard their eggs. Very famous for being very patient and sitting on their eggs. It's actually the males that guard the eggs with penguins. And again, it's the EIR there, because I'm saying the eggs belong to them. Importantly, they keep them warm. It's okay to make mistakes as you're writing. One thing I'm always doing is I keep checking my work. And then, new penguins. New penguins hatch and their story goes on. And there you have it. I have my acrostic poem. Down the side it spells penguins, P-E-N-G-U-I-N, penguin. And it says, penguins are my favourite bird. Even though they cannot fly, they're quite superb. Never lazy, always working, gazing at the ice as they're waddling. Underneath their feathers they guard their eggs. Importantly, they keep them warm. New penguins hatch and their story goes on. Actually, I like and the story goes on. I think I prefer and the story goes on. Just sounds a bit nicer as I read it. There you go. That is how to write an acrostic poem. Have fun. Maybe write 2 or 3 and choose your best. See if you can make improvements. And as always, keep learning.